Some flashes. The Chicago Bulls suffer a competitive loss in overtime to the Orlando Magic. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
The Chicago Bulls lose to the Orlando Magic after, intro. Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into my rant. The Chicago Bulls, despite being down at halftime, coming back, taking a double-digit lead at one point in the third quarter, they end up losing the game to Orlando Magic 108 to 114 in overtime. And this was one of those games where really execution is what hurt the Bulls down the stretch of this game. Even though they only had 8 total turnovers in the game, turnovers, not being able to capitalize, things like that really hurt the Bulls down the stretch of this game, man. It's really unfortunate. It seemed like the Bulls were gaining that momentum. Even at one point, DeMar DeRozan missing a wide open dunk. It wouldn't have put the Bulls up, but and it wasn't really wide open. But the Bulls lose the rebounding battle 48 to 43. Unfortunately, points off turnovers, the Bulls absolutely feast on points off turnovers. 31 to 9 points off turnover battle did the Chicago Bulls win. Fast break points, you won that 10 to 3. Second chance points, you won that 20 to 11. Points in the paint, we tied that 48 to 48. Bench points 35 to 12 in favor of the Orlando Magic. But then when you look at it, both teams shot basically terrible from three-point range. The Orlando Magic shot at 13 of 39. The Bulls shot at 12 of 37. And they shot at 46% overall from the field. We shot at 43%. This was a playoff atmosphere type game. This is a game in which we talked about the defense was going to be important in this game, and it was not it for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan scores 28 points. Nikola Vucevic gets 26 points, 17 assists. Kobe White, off game for Kobe. He's 5 of 21 from the field and 2 of 11 from three-point range. He gets 4 rebounds, 7 assists in this game, 2 steals with 14 points. Ayo Dosunmu has a career-high 5 three-pointers in this game for 19 points. But guess what? None of it was enough. The Bulls just did not play well enough down the stretch of this game to win this game. Andre Drummond did not play very much at all in the second half of this game. He only finishes the game with 16 minutes. He played 10 of those minutes in the first half. So that's unfortunate for Andre Drummond. Julian Phillips gets 7 minutes. Dalen Terry gets 11. Dalen Terry got to stop shooting threes. I know he hit one in this game. He missed 2 that were one was definitely wide open. He should have hit another one. But overall, again, the Bulls they deserve to lose this game, man. I wish I could come out here and defend the team. This was an ugly game overall. And shout out to the competitive loss for the competitive team that AK said was going to be competitive on the back half of a competitive season. I mean, that's how much he said competitive in his competitive post trade deadline competitive live stream. So it is what it is. The Bulls, it sucks that they lost this game, man. It's unfortunate. The Bulls could have won this game, and I think they could have won this game with some better adjustments, more consistent defense, and of course shooting the ball better. Kobe White has one of his worst games in the last 2 weeks in this game as far as shooting the ball wise. He did some really good things defensively. This was also one of those games where it felt like the refs were calling it tight down to begin the game, and then they let a lot go down the stretch of the game that should have been foul calls. But it is what it is when it comes down to that, man. This is a disappointing loss, man, because this was a game that I know a lot of people didn't expect the Bulls to win, but we did not have enough to pull out this game. We didn't play good enough to do it. We didn't deserve to win the game, and it ends with it is what it is. Yet another game that was winnable that ends in a loss for the Chicago Bulls. And they got 2 more games now left into the All-Star break. We play, I think it's Monday and Thursday, something like that. I think we play our next couple of games before the All-Star break. And we'll see what the Bulls can do if they can get those 2 wins. If they can get those 2 wins, it'll push them to 27 and 28. But as is kind of expected, every time this team gets close to 500, some shit happens. So we got Atlanta and Cleveland Monday and Wednesday before the All-Star break, and then we get 8 days off, so a little over a week off before we come back against Boston after the All-Star break. And those are going to be two tough games against the Atlanta Hawks. And that Hawks game has a lot of implications for that 10 seed for the Bulls. I told you guys we're going to be paying a little bit closer attention to seeding. So that game with the Atlanta Hawks, much like this game could have helped us jump them, the game against the Atlanta Hawks can help the Hawks jump us as well. So if the Bulls definitely need to win that game. They need to win that game against the Atlanta Hawks if they want to keep that separation between them as they're trying to pass us up in the 9th seed. So hope the team can do that. We'll see what that's going to be. That is a game at Atlanta. We don't play again at home until after the All-Star break. So we'll be on the road for the next week, and we'll see what comes of that, man. But yeah, sucks. We didn't need a bloody 3 to end the 4th. I had a feeling when we went to OT side. Yeah. We Bulls play fared pretty well in OT, though. I wish our competitive team was competitive. That's funny. Big Diesel says this one really pissed me off. Listen, it's Billy Donovan coach team. This was the most infuriating DeMar final shot, yet literally 18 seconds left to get a better look. We don't run good inbounds plays. We just don't. I'll never understand the decision to shoot a long 3 with Debo when you could have drived and draw a foul and make an easier basket. Got to ask Billy Donovan. I wish Kobe and DeMar would give the ball to Vooch down low. He was our best player. I mean, the thing is, like, Vooch has to also be down low. Vooch needs to be more successful down low. But this wasn't a bad Vooch game at all. Wasn't a bad Vooch game. Debo got to pass the torch to Kobe and give him those last-second shots. He was right in this spot in the final seconds of the 4th. Well, granted, I understand that, and most times I'm going to agree with you, but this was a game where Kobe White sucked from three-point. He sucked shooting the ball wise. 5 of 21 just isn't good. So, I mean, while typically I would like to see Kobe be put in those situations and given those opportunities, this wasn't one of those games where Kobe's play said that he earned those opportunities. Now, he had a brief stretch in the 3rd quarter where it seemed like he was going to get going, but he never quite got going that way. So, what time do you have to stay with who brought you to the dance? And the fact of the matter is that Andre Drummond was not out there at the beginning of the overtime period is a travesty. Yeah, I mean, especially because he had 4 fouls in the first half. He didn't have any in the second half of the game. But maybe they were worried about the fouling because of how that game was being called. Maybe I can see something like that. I don't necessarily know. I can't throw him any bell for that, but I don't know. He made some really, really weird decisions in this game. So those refs sucked, and Vooch always gives up offensive rebounds. Yeah, I mean, but most centers do. It's not offensive rebounds are a rarity. This ain't new. Been saying it since 2002. So people stop acting new. DeMar has to go. Well, Bath Pain, I'm gonna put it out here real to you. If DeMar doesn't play the way he does through 3/4 of this game, the Bulls aren't even in a position to go to overtime. Period. So I get it. Vooch was really good this game, but DeMar made some really big buckets. So you can't be so blinded in your distaste for what he did down the stretch, which is valid. We're not in this game if it isn't for DeMar DeRozan playing the way that he did down the game. 11 of 24 isn't hugely efficient. We're talking about 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He only had 1 turnover in this game. DeMar DeRozan played pretty solidly throughout this game, brother. So I know what to say on that one. Omar says, I swear this team is allergic to 500. Every time we get close, they do something to fuck it up. Yeah, I mean, but we're competitive. We're a competitive team that's competing to try to get competitive wins. That's what it is. Brian the Tryhard says the most stressed 4th quarter this year. Is this the most stressed 4th quarter you've had this year? So many things counting for this loss between missed calls, ticky-tack calls, going to the Magic, Vooch shooting 50K 3-pointers for no reason. Kobe White off night just wasn't meant to be. There's definitely something about that to be said about that, right? It's like we think the ball is a bomb or something. We're scared to grab it. Listen, those rebounds that we missed as a team, it wasn't just Vooch. Down the 4th quarter of that game, it's like we had a bunch of butter on our hands. We couldn't hold on to the ball. It's crazy. Julian says, Billy needs to go. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but here's the thing. They're not going to do it. Like, Billy Donovan is going to be here for a few more years, brother. It is what it is, man. Isaac in the big rushing in crunch time, and we're gonna let Caruso try to fly for a rebound, shaking my head. Yeah, definitely. Lloyd says, I think I hate this team. I definitely hate this coach. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy like I don't agree with you, but I mean, it sucks that you feel that way, brother. It definitely sucks that you got to feel that way, man. Io did work tonight. Io absolutely did work tonight. He did, King Cap. Io did work tonight for sure. Bulls shouldn't have lost, and that was terrible shot by DeMarcus. By DeMarcus? DeMarcus is out there shooting balls? That's crazy from DeMar, but the rest was on that pipe. That's crazy. On that pipe is a crazy line. That's a crazy line. Terrible coaching too. Why was Drummond not in? Like I said, the only thing I could think of, the only thing that I could reasoning I can give for Drummond possibly not being out there, like I said, I guess would be the fact that that game was being called so weird that maybe Billy Donovan was worried with his physicality that he'd be called for he'd get some ticky tack foul calls. That's the only thing that I could think because Drum, yeah, he had the 4 fouls in the first half of the game, but Drum was overall positive in his play today, for sure. 7 threes from Vooch is unacceptable. He could have drove to the basket on 3 of them. Man. Yeah, I am Adele. You're Adele and Terry. Pick up your bottom lip, Shay. Adele and Terry probably has to stop shooting threes, but Billy Donovan definitely has to stop going to DeMar in the fourth. Did you see how everybody paid attention to him? Yeah, everybody knows what we're doing in the fourth quarter. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Competitive continuity. That is crazy. That may be a fire title for an episode. I may have to steal that from you. I may have to steal that from you. Not having Patton being forced to play Dalen is killing the rotation. They couldn't protect that lead with that trash bench lineup. I mean, listen, we've protected leads and gotten leads with worse. Period. I would say this is why you don't just wait to depend on a player when, like in a game like this. Is why either Dalen or Julian Phillips should be getting a few minutes each night. Now, I love that the Javon Carter was non-existent in this game. Love that. DNP for Javon Carter, I'm all down for. All down for those DNPs. But yeah. No substitutes in OT. That I don't know why you keep saying that, Julian. That's not uncommon. That's actually pretty common that you don't substitute in OT. It's only 5 minutes in OT. Usually you go with your lineup and it ends up staying the same. So I'm not gonna lie, even with Kobe shooting poorly, I hated seeing DeMar wave him off to shoot that stupid ass 3. A2 would have won. I mean, remember when DeMar said, hey, if Kobe wants it, it's his? That's a wild pause. But yeah. Lil Famo says, I ain't even know what to say. This one hurt. The refs, DeMar, dumb shot at the end of the quarter. Billy not running Dre and Vooch and OT. Love the game, but this one hurt, man. Listen, I'm not even hurt by this loss. It is what it is. We lost to a better team. This one of the few games this year where it really felt like the refs were letting our team get molested. Arrest the refs for trafficking. That is crazy. That's a crazy line. Not inaccurate, but that's a crazy line. Julian in the building says Debo should not bring the ball up. He isn't a distributor. Well, Julian, not to say that he's not a distributor. Well, I mean, he can be. He can facilitate. But the thing is that he brings the ball up because he can't play off ball. So it allows Kobe White to come off ball, come off screens, things like that, so that he can get some wide open looks, which they've been successful. But if you were to run, let's just say if you were to run with Kobe, DeMar would almost be non-existent. Now, I'm not saying that, okay, maybe then take his ass out, but that's why they do that. DeMar's not good off ball. He's not good in transition. So you put the ball in his hands to kind of let him do some facilitating so other players can kind of get open and move off ball. One of the problems is that we don't move off ball enough as a team either. So that definitely limits some things for the team as well. Matthew says that play when Franz tipped and they called a foul. Was it a foul? Why no challenge? Did they? I don't know, bro. Like, to me, that shouldn't have been it. But hey. Hell of a game. Refs let both teams play physical as possible. A lot of missed calls. Orlando coach outmatched Billy Donovan. He subbed in Gaga and Isaac. Gaga, and Isaac, and the Bulls had no answer for their link. Smart adjustment. It's a game of chess. It is a game of chess for sure. Big Diesel says, just to change the subject, you might be losing your Chicago pass. How are you going to recommend a pizza place in Chicago not named Giordano's Beggars, Home Run Inn, or Gino's East? Because he asked for local. So if you're going to say something, I can never lose my Chicago pass, because if you listen to what he said a non-local chain, not a non-chain local restaurant. So that's why I didn't offer the places that everybody who's not even from Chicago go to. So no, not going to lose a Chicago pass. First of all, I would have lost the Chicago pass if I said Chicagoans actually eat deep dish pizza. We don't. We eat tavern style. So if you're going to come correct me and say I can lose my Chicago pass, actually know what the fuck you're talking about the city, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Don't ever come check me about Chicago. Never. You can't do that. I personally felt like Kobe should have took the last shot to win, because if he misses, no harm, no foul. We go to overtime and DeMar took a three. I mean, the only thing that I could point to, I agree, right? Deanna, Mayo, I'm sorry, I thought Deanna left that. I agree. But Kobe's night shooting was terrible. Kobe had a terrible shooting night tonight. It wasn't just bad, it was terrible. Now, like I said, he had a little stretch there where it seemed like he was going to turn it around, but largely it was bad. So just a few baskets short from Kobe. He was a little off game. No, that wasn't a little off. 5 for 21 ain't a little off, bro. That's a lot of bit off. That's a lot off. 5 for 21 and 2 from 11 from 3-point range. That's a lot bit off there, bro. A lot of off there, brother. DeMar needs to know when to give up the rock. You're right, Haize. We wouldn't have been in the game without him, but sometimes I feel like he doesn't know when to pass after they started to lock him up. Agreed. And that's why I only pointed that out, because you guys know I'm not a DeMar fan at all, but I can't objectively review a basketball game, right? And that's not to say that DeMar shouldn't have passed it sometimes. Absolutely. And we went ISO ball, but again, I look at that and I look at Billy Donovan for sure. A big part of that. Now, the players can change. There's branches to every play. But, it is what it is there, man. Dosunmu should have taken that last shot. He was on fire from 3 all night. Yeah, I mean, Dosunmu, that's a good point. We talk so much about the Kobe DeMar aspect of it, but it's more than that, right? Because Dosunmu was. And we talk about riding the hot hand, and riding the hot hand, that means you got to do more than that. So, definitely. Damn, molested. That's crazy word choices. Dwight in the chat. Billy don't coach. He just watched like a fan. That is hilarious. DeMar has 28 points tonight, though. Can we give him some credit for being highly productive tonight? Geez, that's what I mean. I don't like the just slander just because it's outright slander, right? Well, not slander because it's not slanders, but I don't like just looking at one thing that went bad and trying to act like, oh, the whole game was bad because of that. No, Jamal, that DeMar played pretty well throughout that game. Pretty well, not perfect, but pretty well. Steve-O saying most of those pizza places are trash. Thank you, Steve-O. Like, come on now. What are we doing? Let's see what else we got. If the Magic and Bulls meet in the tournament, the Bulls will win. I mean, hey, hopefully you have that confidence out. Here's what I'll say. We've been getting cooked by the Magic all season, though, right? So I can't just it's not like it was a one lucky win. We've been getting I know they've come down to close calls, but it's been tough. LOL. I thought once Levine done for the season, Bulls should have tried to gain assets, may still make the playoffs, but not getting past Boston as the first seed. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not. But keep in mind, you got to know the franchise. And this franchise, with who they're run right now, they're going to try to win as many games as possible. That just is what it is. Bro, why the fuck he didn't put in Drummond and Vooch when he was getting out rebounded by fuck Big Crazy and Jonathan Isaac, offensive on rebound? Here's what I'll say, man. Like there's no excuse. Like, make an adjustment. But I think the thing with Billy is that Billy looks at it as singular. Like, he looks at it and says, listen, we haven't been playing efficient offense. Let me put an efficient offense out there. Missing the fact that, okay, cool. But you can't really play too much good offense if you're not getting rebounds, right? You're not getting rebounds. So what are you going to do, Billy Donovan? Oh, I don't know. That's what Billy Donovan does. It hurts Chicago knowing that this one of the picks given to Orlando, the Vucevic trade, was spent on Franz Wagner. I agree with that. Now, it's a large jump to think that the Bulls would have drafted Franz Wagner how they kept that pick, right? I don't know that draft. I don't remember that draft off the top of my head to know like if I could see anybody who would stick out in that case, but it is what it is when it comes down to it. Unfortunately, man, listen, the Bulls lost this game. They lost this game to a magnitude of reasons, and one of those reasons being lack of adjustments in a lot of key areas, right? So listen, the Bulls lost this game, and they got a couple of chances to win another game, and we'll see what it is. Now, first of all, David Joe. First of all, your name is David Joe. You have two first names and can't do anything right to save your name, like to save your life. Shut the fuck up. You out here trying to get attention from a grown-ass man in the live stream because nobody loves you. Nobody loves you. Nobody gives a damn about you. Your name is David. That means that your parents looked at you and said you a basic bitch. That's what that means. They looked at you as a baby and realized you didn't deserve any name other than a basic bitch ass name, and you got two first names at that. Your name is David Joe. That's the name that you chose or your parents chose for you, and either way, you're a loser. So when you come in here, come correct. You're coming here to the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, and you trying to get attention, so now I gave it to you. So chill out, watch yourself, because otherwise you're just going to keep being a loser. So fix yourself, bro. Worry about that. Fix yourself. Go fix your life. Because trying to get attention here ain't gonna work for you, bro. You're just gonna end up a victim, like many other people before you and many other people after you. Chill the fuck out. I've been trying to give you grace, David Joe, but watch your goddamn self. Your name is David. David. They call you Dave. Davey Boy Smith. You're not shit. Shut the fuck up. Watch yourself. Sit down and stop being a pansy ass bitch. That's what you need to do. How about you worry about that? Now, with that said, let's get back to the content. Come on, man. Y'all be forgetting who I am, bro. Don't let the content fool you. We deliver amazing content here, but I'm still petty motherfucking Roosevelt. That's it. You can't out shit talk a shit talker. Why the fuck was Billy doing in the last minute, not putting in drum and not challenging some of the bad calls? Listen, the challenges, I have no excuse for the challenges. I have no reason. I try to add reasoning to shit. I ain't got no reasoning for the lack of challenges. None. That's just what we talking about. First of all, okay, let me ask you this. See, nobody took anything personally. You got to stop thinking because you roast that means it takes it personally. It's first of all, you don't know a shit talker, then shut the fuck up. Like, let it be known that you a dumbass. How about that? Taking things personally. Nobody takes things personally. This is my house. We built this shit. So whatever I say goes here. And that means that you can get roasted. It's not about, I can end this live stream and not think about your dumbass. But guess what? You in the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related as well. Calm down, chill yourself down, sit down, and let it be known that you are also a pansy ass bitch. How about that? Haize that, motherfucker. If you're going to say my name, say it right, bitch. How about that? Come on now. Because I'm some take things personally. Y'all be forgetting. Y'all be fucking forgetting who the fuck this is. Don't go back to first season post-game shows. Y'all been chilling and getting out of pocket. Watch yourself. Watch yourself, okay? Chill the hell out. Now, let's get back to the shit. Can't just have this nigga Haize playing 1 minute of Spirit basketball talking to bitch your mama. Oh, man. Do you know that the stat about Kobe being second in the entire NBA for grabbing loose ball? First of all, I need you to think about your wording, Archangel. Think about the wording that you just know. But that doesn't surprise me. That really doesn't surprise me. We win together, we lose together. Chicago Bulls for life. See, Red. That's crazy that you turned the bad boy saying into a Chicago Bulls saying. That's wild, creative, and that's great. That's great. I love you for that. Love you for that. I hope we start hitting on draft picks that can contribute and help now. AK been drafting garbage. Well, the thing is, chasing dreams, I get why you say that. And I'm not saying that you're wrong right now, but just like it took Kobe 5 years to develop, I mean, we really can't say it. Julian Phillips is way too early to say. Dalen Terry looks mad questionable. Do not get me wrong, but maybe he turns into something. But Io DeSumo, he hit in the second round in Io. Maybe that's why they wanted 3 second-round picks for Io. Maybe AK finally realized, listen, I just need second round picks because I can do good at second round picks. So that's funny. D the white balls, that's crazy. I love grabbing loose balls. That's wild. That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah. Whoa. All right. Ayo playing well the whole game, but Billy had to either bench him or Caruso in that OT period for Drummond the minute he realized he can't get a board to save our lives. I mean, I can feel you on that one. I see that's the thing though. Like I wouldn't have taken out Ayo because of the shooting. We were down by like 3 a lot of that game, so maybe we could space the floor. Some Caruso too. I don't know what, like, again, trying to be objective in viewing it. I know it's easy just to say, let's swap out this player, you get a rebound. But you got to also think about the other side of the ball. So you get the rebound. If you don't have spacing, you're just going to, they're going to pack it in on you. So I don't know. I don't know. Orlando Magic must have had the Dwight Howard. Whoa, okay, come on, Shay. Come on, bro. I know Petty Roosevelt made an appearance, but come on, man. Do you think it's too much pressure on the squad with 60 million plus and Cap not playing plus Patrick? I mean, listen, no, because it could be, but it's not pressure. Like you should be playing free then, right? The way that I look at it is this: if the expectations around you have decreased, that should allow you to play a little bit more free. I think that's what they did when Zach initially went down. When we initially went on that run, I think it was the team was playing free. The team was playing with knowing that hey, we without our best player, and DeMar missed 2 games in that as well. You play free. Just go out and play basketball. That's it. The Bulls are so trash. Kobe played like shit, and the Bulls had Wagner looking like the white MJ. Well, Franz Wagner's been killing it this season. Franz Wagner is a good player. He's a damn good player, brother. Mercy, he'd have a formula and track players all the way to high school. Their scouting and player development department is next level. Who? Oh, the Heat? Oh, you did say that. The Heat do. The Heat have the Heat have an amazing scouting department for sure. Bathor Plain says, if you live in Chicago, your best bet for good pizza and hit random holes in the wall. Shout out to Papa Ray's in Uptown. First of all, random holes in the wall. You be out here glorying hole in Bathor Plain. That's crazy, bro. That's wild. That's crazy. Bro, this is 2 straight years of the same team productivity. Do you think changes is coming in this offseason? I think changes are coming. I don't know if it's like a full teardown or something like that. What's up? Allen. Oh, wrong button. Love my son, but that's crazy. Well, I don't stroll for pickles, Haize. I messed that in. Oh, I'm not saying you could have been in the glory hole with a woman. I wasn't making that type of joke. I mean, to each its own, but hey, it is what it is. The Bulls team deserves to be where they're at, competing for playing spot. Besides losing, DeRozan not being able to close out games, AK didn't pull the trigger for any changes. Feels happy with the team we have. I mean, I feel you. Kobe didn't play bad. He was blitzed all game. Coaches need to figure out how to free him up or simply use him as a decoy if they're going to double him. No adjustments made for Kobe. Well, we don't make adjustments very good at all since Billy Donovan is the head coach. This offseason going to be the biggest offseason since AK arrived. Is Pat going to get another extension? Is DeMar going to be here again? Is Zach coming back? What's up with Dalen? Is going to be interesting. I don't think any of that makes it interesting. I can answer that right now. Patrick Williams is getting an extension. DeMar DeRozan may or may not be back, but I don't think that makes it a super thing. And Zach is coming back at least to start the season. Zach isn't going to be traded in the offseason. So those things that I'm not going to say that, Lil Family, that is still not going to be an interesting offseason, but those things that you listed don't make it interesting to me at all. Competitive bubblegum chewing is what AK was talking. That's crazy. Competitive bubblegum chewing is wild. This Bulls team reminds me so much of that Spurs team DeMar was on. How? I got to think about that. Like, you got to think about that. Haize, do you ever do live call-in show? No. Oh, call-in show? Sorry, I thought you were saying live call. My brain stopped after seeing live call. Yeah, I've done those before. We call them crisis hotlines. I usually only do them when shit's going really, really bad and Bulls fans need an outlet. Like, I thought about doing one the day of the trade deadline because I know Bulls fans were pissed off, but we had a game that day. So that's the only reason I didn't do it. So why is Sacktown in the chat though? Leave. We are. Oh, Sacktown's a good dude. He's a good dude. Like I think it's a dude. I don't know for sure, but he's a good dude. Like he's a good dude. So no, he's family. He's officially part of the fam. He's good. He's a Kings fan, but he's still part of the fam. Haize is out. Oh yeah. He was trying to get some candy. That's all. If the Bulls are hard up against the cap, will they pay the luxury tax or just have a fire sale? They're not paying the tax. Not for this team. It's not happening. And I don't think they're going to have a fire sale either. Where's Lance Stevenson? Is he available? Am I crazy for thinking he'd be a good fit on both ends of the floor? Yes, because he's not an NBA player anymore. What are we talking about? Unless you're traveling, if you're also Deanna traveling back in time to pull out Lance Stevenson from about like 2018, maybe. But otherwise, other than that, no. Not gonna lie, Dalen Terry's dunk was freaking crazy. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Nah, bro, you need to do it again. We gotta get something off our chest. That's funny. I mean, maybe I'll do something over the All-Star break since there's no games, right? Which means that theoretically, with no games, we'd go 8 days without a live stream. So maybe somewhere in there, I work in a live call-in show so that we can have some fun and interact. Maybe. Let me kick that around. Let me think about that. Did the people from Sacramento nickname the town Sacktown? If so, why? I don't know. He's in the G League. Well, then that should tell you that there's a reason. There's a reason why he's in the G League. My prediction is the Bulls make the AC. Yes, you have a tough schedule left, but great leaders, good fans, and a team that fights. That's the formula for making a playoff push. It will happen. Wait, from your mouth to God's ears, brother. That's all I can say with that one. Yeah, he was a player at one point, but not anymore. Yeah, Deanna, but listen, points in the G League don't mean NBA points. Marko Simonovic was putting up points in the G League. Antonio Blakeney was putting up points in the G League. That doesn't mean shit for the NBA. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to curse like coming at you, so please don't take it that way. I'm trying to be nicer to the actual people that deserve to be nice. You're a person that deserves to be for me to be nice to. But yeah, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything to me. If you think the Bulls won't pay the luxury tax this offseason, how will they pay P. Will and their draft pick the upcoming season? Well, keep in mind they're always over the salary cap. They can go over the salary cap without going into the luxury tax. So that's not a problem. So they can re-sign P. Will. The problem that it gets to is that re-signing P. Will, re-signing DeMar, re-signing Andre Drummond, you're not doing all three of those things. The only way that you can do all three of those things is if you move off Lonzo Ball's contract, and if you that would free up a lot of that, but or Zach LaVine and don't take much salary back. So it's not going to happen. So they're going to re-sign P. Will. It's not a chance that they let P. Will go. This front office, I need everybody to realize it. This isn't about just production on the court. This front office is not letting Patrick Williams go away with as long as if they see any potential in him to still turn into a player, right? So Patrick Williams isn't going anywhere. Now, keep in mind though, Patrick Williams' cap hold is $29 million. He's not getting that. So theoretically, if he re-signs for less than his cap hold, is going to free up a little bit more money. So we'll see what happens with that. Like, he's not going to get that. Also, DeMar DeRozan's cap hold is $42 million. He's definitely not. If the Bulls pay DeMar DeRozan $42 million, the live stream that you guys will see from me after that point would be absolutely astronomical. So, yeah, so keep in mind. So I can explain this a little bit better. I know I just kind of rambled. So the Bulls have projected $16 million in cap space. That's $16 million. That's with the cap hold. So the Bulls have, let me go through it. They have cap holds of $42 million for DeMar, $29 million for Patrick Williams, $4 million for Andre Drummond. That's the cap holds that they have. So we know that Patrick Williams, once he's off that cap hold and signs his actual contract, it's going to free up some more money under the luxury tax. So the Bulls, while they have $16 million in cap space, they have a full possible $38 million in cap space. So the $38 million will come if they renounce Patrick Williams, if they renounce DeMar DeRozan, if they renounce Andre Drummond, they can have $38 million in cap space, other players as well. So there's a barrier between that. So they got more than enough to re-sign Patrick Williams. That's not really the problem. I'm surprised you didn't roast Cole Anthony's hairline. I roasted Jalen Suggs' hairline. I roasted it completely because that's terrible. That's a terrible hairline. Let's see what else we got. Haize, the Bulls do a buyout with Lonzo next year. Will the Bulls get that $20 million cap? So no. So if they were to do a buyout with Lonzo Ball, the way that it works is that because to buy him out, you got to pay a portion of their contract. The portion of that contract that they buy out stays on the salary cap. So let's say, just to make it easy, that they buy out Lonzo Ball for $10 million. That means that $10 million still counts against the salary cap, but that would free up relatively $10 million under their back onto their salary cap. If they do the career-ending injury exception, then that's a little bit different. Do you see the Bulls re-signing DeMar this offseason? I go back and forth on this, chasing dreams. There's times where I think no. There's times where I think I just think that if DeMar plays chess with them, is like, all right, bet I'm going to go to whatever team offers me the most money. The Bulls be like, all right, bet here goes $25 million, and that's a little bit crazy to me, right? That's what concerns me. Why would the Bulls re-sign DeMar? Continuity. That's the only reason that I would say, bro. So scary thought, though, right? Haize, remember last year when we got our ask me by the Toronto Raptors? Pick up your bottom lip shade. Pick it up. All right. Got our ass beat by the Toronto Raptors all season, and then we ended up winning in the play-in. I'm not saying that we will do that to the Magic, but history does repeat. Yeah, okay, bro. Like, Shay, you are so busy making comparisons that yesterday's price isn't today's price. Last year's success doesn't guarantee this year's success. What are we doing? DeMar has missed like 4 attempts to win the game since he stated Kobe White has the green light to take the shot. And still today, Kobe or Io has never gotten a chance to do so. That's crazy. That's crazy. Haize, bro, get you some rest tomorrow night. You've been working like a motherfucker on all your platforms. Listen, this week has been a motherfucker. So just for those that don't know, for the trade deadline day, I dropped 7 episodes on just this channel alone on trade deadline day. I did 2 episodes on Chicago Bears Central because news dropped. I did an episode on NBA Central, and we did 2 episodes of Locked on Bulls. Trade deadline day literally kicked my ass. I woke up the next day thinking it was 2 days later. So Kaymon says, we need a Pat Will update. I think it's been 2 weeks. No, it's been 2 weeks since he was played, but it's only been 1 week since they said he'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. So don't expect to hear an update on Patrick Williams to probably over the All-Star break is what I'm guessing. I don't think we see Patrick Williams with only 2 games left before the All-Star break. I don't think they risk bringing him back. I don't think he's reevaluated until over that All-Star break, and then he may come back after that. Haize, you being a featurist to your bro. Hey, listen, Shay's my little brother. He knows I love him, but I'm gonna give him shit every chance I get. Every chance I get. How often do I get cotton mouth? That is a weird question. Deanna, what the hell? It's so embarrassing to get beat by a city like Orlando. Teams aside, Orlando should never beat Chicago or anything except stupid Florida man headlines. That's crazy. You were more active at the trade deadline than AK. I mean, technically, all of us were, right? Because never mind. Let me stop being an asshole. I'm gonna stop. They need to expand All-Star game rosters. Way too many deserving players get left out increase the rosters from 12 to 15. Nah, I think keep it the same. It makes it more special. I don't do participation trophies in life. I don't want participation All-Stars. Nope. It's just so annoying seeing some of the Bulls fans now defend DeMar taking the game-winning shots now, especially one like that. It was fun in 2021, but not anymore. And it was mostly that type of shot. I mean, I could definitely feel you on that one. Because your job is to talk all day. So I was wondering. I mean, I think I drink enough water. Honestly, all jokes aside, I think I drink enough water to stay hydrated. So that's probably why. Now, for Deanna, I don't know if you're around at the start of the season. So there's every year at the start of the season, I lose my voice. And the reason is because in the off season, I'm doing maybe one, maybe two videos. During the free agency, I'm doing a lot of videos. But after free agency and the draft happened, it's really kind of slow motion, right? After a draft free agency, it's slow motion. So I actually am only doing probably one episode a day after free agency. And so between the draft and free agency too, maybe only one episode a day, maybe an extra episode every couple of days to go over free agent targets, things like that. So I got to get back in rhythm of talking and then keep in mind, my episodes are like 15 to 20 minutes long. So to do that every day, which is always cool, but then to do a halftime hangout, a pregame show, a postgame show, I lose my voice at the start of every season. Every single season, I lose my voice. So, but all right, y'all, man. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to wrap up the live stream, man. I will be back tomorrow with the daily episode. You guys know I'm the only truly daily Chicago Bulls channel. I drop every single day. We are 19 days away. Only 19 days away from 1,000 straight days of content on Chicago Bulls Central. Keep that in mind. We are 19 days away from my goal of 1,000 straight days of dropping content on Chicago Bulls Central. Just let that sink in. 19 days away from episode 1,000, man. That's crazy. I can't wait to have that episode with you guys. It's going to be a special occasion. I'm super, super, super excited about it, man. 1,000 straight days of content, and it's because of you guys, man. I appreciate you guys so much for being the best part of Chicago Bulls Central. You guys mean the world to me. Make sure you're following the show at Bulls Central Pod. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. Thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See red if you